Hey everybody, Dave here. Today we're reloading Colt 45 long. I'm going to show you this process from start to finish. So first thing you need is the die set. We're using a Hornady press, but it doesn't matter which die set you get. RCBS and Lee work just fine. As far as I've seen, I've done several calibers and I haven't had any problems. So first thing we're going to need to do to pull the primers. This is already set. This is a lock and load, so you just lock it in. It's already set the way I need it. Need to put the holder in here for the caliber that you're using. And what we need to do is, these have been shot. We shot these last weekend. We loaded these with the 57 grains, and I'm gonna bump it up to trickle up to 60 or 6.0. 60. No, trickle up to 6.0 this time because 5.7 was pretty good. It gave me a little burning on the edge, and that just could be the way I loaded it. So I want to bump it up a little bit and see how they shoot. A couple more grains of powder. So this is what they look like. That's the primer. Now what this does, as you push, it makes the case back to factory standard and punches the primer out. Primer comes right out. Now I've got a little basket to hold the primers, and I'll go through all of these that we shot. These were shot and then they were thrown in the tumbler with walnut shells for about 1 hour, and they come out real clean like that. They still have some lead residue. I should be wearing gloves, so PSA, wear gloves when you do this because there's a lot of lead. This is the first process. I'll be right back after I've done a whole batch of these, and we'll do the second process of putting the primers in them. All right, we got the primers out. Now we're gonna put fresh primers in. This is a Hornady hand press, hand priming tool, whatever you want to call it. What's up with the black and the green trays? Black tray is for Hornady. I call them feet. They're bullet seats. This piece right here. Hornady makes them, Lee makes them, and RCBS makes them. And if you're going to use one that's a Hornady model, you're going to want to use the black tray. If you're going to use any of them that are different models, which this is a Lee and this is a RCBS, use the green tray. I had to look that up. It's pretty obvious when you look, especially when you're doing large pistol primers. But put your primers in, flip them over. Those little grooves in there actually help flip them over all by themselves, but there's always a couple that don't want to play. All right, get the top on. You'll figure that out if you get whatever tool you're using. Now, Colt 45 is real easy. Colt long is easy to load large pistol primers. Small rifle primers are not that easy. Make sure you got it lined up. Pop it in. There it is. I'll show you. Deprimed, primed. So what it's doing is it's squishing in there like a little donut. It's like pushing your hand down on a donut. And primers have, ballistic powder in them, and they will go off when they're snapped really hard and fast. You slowly crunch them like this. It's not as dangerous as you might think. You don't want to point it to your face, but it's okay. So here's 4 of them primed, and they're ready for powder. And I will finish up a whole bunch of these, come back, and we'll talk about powder. All of these have been primed. They have brand new primers in them. I made them, and usually I don't count until I get primers in. So I've got 1, 2, 200 and almost 300, like 10 off. So I'm going to kind of set up for 300. Now it's time for the powder. Like I said, I'm going for. I got these bullets here, heavy lead, and they are 230 grains. So I'm going, it's between 5.7 and 6 grains to push a 230 grain piece of lead. So I'm gonna, Okay, you have to zero out the scale. And I think I'm gonna go 5.7 shot pretty good. Could have used a little. I'm using Hodgdon tight group powder that's in here. We're gonna go about 5.9. Okay, so with the zero the scale, then we're gonna start doing some basic loads. What you do is you drop the powder. The last powder we dropped was 223, so that's a lot of powder. And so we're gonna dial this guy back quite a bit. Always zero the scale, because even the slightest breeze changes things. I don't know why it can't stay consistent, but I always zero the scale. Zero the scale. Drop another load. We want to get like 3 or 4 times. There's 5.7. So I'm going to stop turning the thing, stop adjusting things, and see what kind of zero. See what kind of consistent load we can get out of this at this setting. 5.9. I like that. If I can get it to do 5.9 2 or 3 times, that'd be great. What that's going to change for me. So there's 5.7. So we want to open it up just a little. It's consistent at 5.7. We want to go a little bit bigger than that, more grains than that. 5.9 I think I'm going to shoot for. 5.9. Zero it out. Okay, we're hitting on 5.9. So here's a good thing. We're gonna zero it out. We're gonna start loading bullets. Get your tray here. That was a 5.7 load. I don't want to load the 5.7. So there's zero. All right. So now we'll do a few of them like this until we can get our consistency going on. Then you can just shove the bullet up under here and load, and you got to check every now and then. Zero the scale often and you won't have too many problems. If you don't zero your scale often, you'll be all over the place. All right. Okay, I'm really good with that. So I'll show you the whole process of this. Now what I'll do is I'll do 10 just like this. And then I'll check again every 10. So I'm getting consistent 5960 grains. That's a little tiny bit of powder for this big old casing, but this casing was made for black powder. This entire tray is loaded with charges, and I already have a die set up to load the lead, put the lead on top. I also have the best way I've found to find out how deep you want your bullet to be seated is to find a a store-bought round that you like that fits in your weapon. So that's what I have. And we'll get our calipers out. Zero that baby out. Alright, so this is store-bought. This is a Federal round wad cutter, and it is exactly 40.49. 40. Alright, what we want to do is we want to make our bullets match that bullet. Here is our lead. Handful of lead. You can see that. Looking at me, alright? Okay, so what we want to do is we have our die in there. So the bullet's seated pretty decently. We'll run it up. Once this starts working, this actually pushes the bullet in and crimps it at the same time. So what we want to do is we want to measure that against the one that we had. It's just a tiny bit higher, isn't it? So it's not bad. I mean, that's a keeper, right? But all right, let's go for the next one. Like I say, I'll bring the camera around and show you what's going on. Under the light, maybe even. Yeah, see, it's got the charge in it, you can see. Okay. Now what you want to do is set this on there. This should feel real comfortable. Like it should just want to fit in there. And then you push it right up on in. And now you'll feel, as you push down, there's an extra. That extra is the crimp. See that? All right. Okay, so now we measure that. Where are we at here? Yes, that is good. You can see that that's the exact same measurement. And I'm just gonna do a whole bunch more of them. I'll do them all, and then I'll come back and I'll show you boxing. I know you don't see that in many videos, people actually putting them in boxes, so. How's it going? Okay, the last step is to box everything up. I finished these last night. Yeah, a couple hundred, 250 some. So I have boxes for Colt 45 long. They say that right on them, which is lovely. All right. I'm gonna write, of course, I'm gonna write 60 grains. That way I know what I'm shooting. Fold the boxes, pretty simple. I'll just try to fold everything once, at least once. So that way it's just easier to put together. We're done here. Sun's in my face. It's a beautiful morning in Northern California. NorCal Rambler. We're gonna go with these first. They're all 60 grains, but some of them have different heads, different wad cutters. We have wad cutters and we have cowboy tips rounded. So I want to make sure that I try to get the same things in the same boxes. So in order to make this happen, you stack them in this is like a preloader. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. I'll do one box and that way I'll get it all done and you guys can see how it looks. It does take a little time to get things stacked in the preloader, but it's awesome because once you get them loaded, you can just cram them right in the box. And these boxes that I got on Amazon, you can get them on Amazon for all different calibers, and you can get the preloaders. You only need one of these to mini boxes. So they're smaller. The boxes are smaller than the ones you buy in the store when you buy 50 rounds. You can see that here. See this blue thing? Size compared to the black thing? The black thing is from store-bought ammunition. The blue is from the box filler, so it's quite a bit smaller. Actually, you can fit these into a 50 cal can. You can get a lot more of them in than the store-bought boxes. This is more of a military ammo type thing. Alright, so now that we have the preloader loaded, we want to put the box together just like this. Then you would think that you would fold this in and under, but you do not. You don't fold this in and under. You just leave it out because you're going to put it segments the bullets. I'll show you what I mean. Alright. Yeah. Now, I'm doing it backwards so you guys can see what's going on. Hopefully you can see. Now we're going to segment the bullets. This and like this. Hopefully we'll have the right amount in the right order, in the right places. Let's go a little bit further. Okay, and that's what it looks like. You have a box, 45 long Colt. It's got little warnings and things on the side. Keep away from children. Serious injury can occur. Lead warning. And there you go. So I'll put all of these in their own little boxes, and then I am done making rounds for the Colt 45. See ya.